Good morning. It's a beautiful spring morning and I'm out on our back deck. I'm having a cup of tea and feeding peanuts to Gus the squirrel. I thought today might be a great day to tell you how to make a really inexpensive, convenient, portable travel palette for your paint. That's coming up next, right after I finish feeding Gus. There you go, Gus. This is a tin that I use to hold my watercolor pans. It holds 14 half pans, and on the lid I chose to put a color chart and I covered it with contact paper to keep it waterproof. Some people will use the lid as a mixing palette. I have another old tin here, and that one I want to fill with my gouache. The next thing you need are empty plastic paint pans. They're inexpensive and can be purchased online or in an art store. This travel palette I'm going to be filling with my tubes of gouache. So I'm only going to need 11 pans for this travel box. I'll start by putting the empty pans into the tin and move them around to find the best fit. Since I only need 11 pans in this tin, I'll have plenty of room. Now I'll take the empty pans out of the tin and arrange them on the table in the same configuration, and then I'll fill them with the paints. It's a good idea to tap the pans gently on the table. This will even out the paint and let it settle into the corners of the pan. Now I have to wait for the paint to dry. It's a good idea to let it sit overnight. While I'm waiting, I'm going to make the color chart. To do this, I'm going to need a scrap of watercolor paper and trace the shape of the tin onto the watercolor paper. When I cut it out, I'm going to need to cut it smaller than that shape so it fits inside the lid. I'm going to repeat the same process for the contact paper, only when I cut it out I have to make it a little bit bigger than the actual watercolor paper. That way it will stick to the lid and keep the whole thing waterproof. A Sharpie works best for tracing onto the contact paper. I might need to trim a little bit more off the watercolor paper so the contact paper has a good seal with the lid. Now there's nothing to do but wait. The next day the paints are dry enough to handle. I take a hot glue gun and put a little dab of glue on the bottom of the pan. It's a good idea to start with the center of each row. Then you will be sure that your paints will fit in the tin the way you planned. I like to fill the empty spaces with hot glue to prevent the paints from getting knocked around when traveling. It also makes it an easier job to keep the palette clean. I also use the glue gun to glue the watercolor paper to the lid. I'm now ready to paint the color chart. I do the color chart on the lid because I don't like to use the lid as a palette. I find that I use the tins when I'm out with a sketchbook and traveling, and I'm happy to mix any colors I need on a small piece of pre-cut paper. I have to wait for the paint to dry, and then I can put the contact paper on. This only takes a few minutes. And it's done! A small, portable, perfect little palette. Easy to throw into a bag with a sketchbook and a water brush, and you're ready to go. It's inexpensive, and it's set up exactly the way I like it. If you found this video helpful, click the like button so more people can see this video. And don't forget to subscribe to be notified when the next art video comes out.